Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of TekTalk. This is Yasir, SharePoint MVP, and with me today are
Adel Zubeir. I'm the Windows Phone Middle East Community Lead and Windows Phone MVP. And we have with us today a special guest.
And I'm Hassan Khawaja. I'm a PFE, Field Engineer with Microsoft, with SharePoint and BizTalk, and also Windows Phone developer and an enthusiast.
So Hassan, today we will talk a little bit about development, Windows Phone development. Have you started building applications for Windows Phone yet?
I have, and it's pretty simple. Microsoft has made it very easy to start developing. I mean, most of us probably do know a little bit of .NET development, C#, or even VB.NET, and they have, given away free Visual Studio 2010 for Windows Phone.
Yeah.
So you can download, install, and you're up and running.
Mm-hmm.
And you can develop. If you know Silverlight, it really helps. But if you know, C#, and have done some web programming and utilizing web services, it's very easy to really get into Windows Phone development.
I have noticed that providing the tools for free, that's really a great thing, especially it's Visual Studio, and we know that Visual Studio is the best IDE in the world for development.
So is there any specific version of Visual Studio for that? And how can I download it? How can I get it?
It is. If you just go to create.msdn.com,
Okay.
it takes you to the App Hub,
Okay.
and there's a big link right up there that says download the tools, and they're free tools.
Wow.
It's download, I think it's a 500 megabytes of ISO image or maybe an executable, and you can just install the full environment for it.
So can I install it with my prior Visual Studio Professional already there?
Definitely.
Side by side?
Side by side. I'm running Visual Studio even 2008,
Okay.
the full version, and Visual Studio Phone 2010.
And to add one more thing, if you have Visual Studio 2010 Ultimate or any other version of Visual Studio 2010, it will automatically integrate, and you will find it when you'll just start Visual Studio as you used to be. You don't have another icon to launch it or something. You'll just go to a new project and you'll find Windows Phone in the list of templates. So it will automatically integrate. If you have the ultimate version, for example, you can connect to source control and version control and DFS, for example.
And just like, if you're used to writing, SharePoint stuff
Yeah.
or ASP.NET stuff, comes with built-in templates for phone.
Mm-hmm.
You have the data bind or data bound template. You have, if you have seen the Windows Phone page or display formats, you have the panoramic applications, and you have the pivots and other styles. They come, those templates are built in. You can just start a project based on those and automatically have those features. You just start filling in with your content.
Okay, and the version of Silverlight, will it be 4 or will it be 3?
No, it's 3.
It's true.
So what if I have Silverlight 4 installed? So I have to install the previous version?
No. You don't have to install anything.
Once you install the tool set,
It will be there.
It takes care of itself.
Oh, fantastic.
So the only thing you have to do is just install the tools, and that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
You can just start building applications.
So the technologies that you should know are C# or VB.NET?
Now you can also do VB.NET.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. And Silverlight? That's
The
it?
Silverlight, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's XAML. Yeah, it's Silverlight. It's Silverlight 3, but still it's a little bit extended from Silverlight 3 to cover more stuff that are phone related.
Yeah, I mean, if you have not done Silverlight programming before, just, if you go through, do some of the exercises which are part of the developer, training kit,
Okay.
it'll take you through, it's a page, it's called a XAML, on a website it's ASPX, or it's XAML,
Okay.
and it's all XML based, those tags,
Mm-hmm.
and you build your display. And on the code behind you have the C#.
Okay.
So just like a web page,
Mm-hmm.
and Silverlight has the notion of pages.
Okay.
So you can call a page, navigate to a page, pass in query parameters and everything, just like a web page.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
that's how you can build the flow of
the application.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. Let's go a little bit back in history. Have you built applications for other than Windows Phone 7?
Long time back, going back in history, when I was much younger, I have done.
I guess you guys are not too older, you know.
I don't know. I have more white hairs than you do, so.
I could use more hairs. I have done BlackBerry development and writing push applications for BlackBerry. So at that time, I think it was around 2001, 2002, around that time, and it was Java based. So I've done that, and but this one is a totally clean break from all those kind of systems. This is actually coding is more fun. Just because of the UI and it's beautiful. It's a flowing interface. It's full rich of colors and the display elements are very just have a wow factor. So coding is more fun with Windows Phone definitely.
Especially with the help of Visual Studio and
Yeah.
Silverlight, of course.
Definitely.
I mean, before you guys go to come to the next talk, can I do everything that Silverlight provides me?
No.
In the
Most of the stuff. This is more locked down. So if Silverlight, even though it's still locked down, but phone has some libraries or things which are but part of the regular Silverlight, which are not in the phone. That makes sense because phone, the device, hardware, things it can do is more locked down.
Okay.
So they did not put those kind of things in the. For example, there is no at this time native network APIs.
Okay.
In which you can program at the sockets level or something.
Fine.
I think that's not there in Silverlight 3. I think it is there in 4, but not 3. I'm not sure though. So maybe because it's based on 3, it doesn't have the socket support.
Could be, but Windows 6.5, mobile 6.5, we had the socket support. People could write all these network-based applications.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff to use in Windows Mobile, but yet maybe that's why we have seen definitely some bad codes and some.
I think it's a good strategy since it's brand new stuff. Microsoft has locked down a few things till people become more mature in developing and they can maybe slowly release it. I know internally they have access to those APIs.
Definitely.
And I think their partners, the core partners, they had access to, so they could develop some application. But in the hands of general developers, I think it has not been released yet. So hopefully,
This means we are finding some internal information through TekTalk as well. So there are some.
It's a public.
See, you can notice it actually on the phone itself. Once you buy it, you have the pre-installed applications that came with the device. You can sense that this is something it's using something that's not available for everyone, and even us MVPs don't have access to these stuff. So sad face. Okay. So you have built applications for other platforms.
Yes.
Can you compare how easy it is for Windows Phone and other platforms?
As I mentioned, it's just a great experience. Just being able to design your screens and put all the visual elements and bring them to life and add all that interactivity. It's just great. The only other experience I had is, as I mentioned, was building some BlackBerry corporate type apps, boring stuff, written in Java using Eclipse IDE, which was and is a good IDE, and but still, the element of things you see with Windows Phone 7 definitely is not there. It's very cut and dry. Here it's I'm enjoying the program.
Definitely. And yet you don't have to get that boring word again into business applications.
Exactly.
Even if it's a business application, it can still look nice easily.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, this means I can say that if I have the Windows Phone in my Windows Phone development on the Visual Studio, it will be like print hello world and F5, and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very simple, very straightforward, easy, and whenever you're stuck with something, you just open Bing, and I'm using it as my daily driver, not because this is a recording. I am using it as my daily driver on my phone and on my PC, and just search for the answer as you are searching for Silverlight 3, and you will find it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so if you run a little bit low on the resources because the platform is a little bit new, Of course, you can always come to windowsphoneme.com.
Yeah,
And
it's good.
I will do my
Yes,
best. Yeah,
okay.
I will do my best to
Yeah,
help.
impress you.
Or you can search for the solution on Silverlight 3, and most probably you will find it easily.
Okay.
And the one quick thing is Visual Studio comes with this great emulator. So once you deploy and develop this application, you can hit F5, and you have the choice of either sending it to your emulator or to a physical, Windows Phone 7 device.
Okay.
And the only catch is that you have to be registered as a Windows Phone developer with the marketplace, and you can then developer unlock and then put all your applications on the phone. Because it's one thing developing on the emulator, and then actually physically testing on a real world device.
Yeah.
And see how people will see it.
Yeah, definitely.
And because emulator has all the maybe your fast connectivity of your DSL line of home wireless, but this, if it's on a 3G connection or another connection, you'll see
might have
sometimes it's a little slow. If
yeah.
it's a network-based app, you'll see how you want to handle that.
Mm.
So all of those things I think really are helpful.
And I think we have this is the emulator that it's running on.
That's
the
the
screen, so
emulator, yes.
yeah, we are using Bing on the emulator. So
It's showing the beautiful Bing
Yeah.
background there.
okay, great. So you're building apps for Windows Phone 7. How difficult it is to certify an app for the marketplace?
And let me add, is there any review for your code before you deploy it?
Okay. So I'll have to say this, I'm a registered developer,
Okay.
but I'm working on my first app to be deployed. So I have not deployed it yet, but I've read a lot of the policies and I've followed a lot of the discussion people are having. So yes, there is a strict guidelines that Microsoft wants you to follow. Application must follow these things to be stable, consistent apps, so people, their end user experience is consistent. It's great, and it doesn't affect the performance, and people get disillusioned with the platform. So a few things are resource management, and you might have heard it doesn't have multitasking in a way. So what it does do, when you launch an application, it loads into the memory. And if you go back to another application or go back to your home page, it sort of deactivates the application. It doesn't terminate it, it deactivates it. And then there's this term called tombstoning, in which you have to persist all the information at that particular time in the storage, and when the user comes back, if they come back, you load those settings back and present that state back. So it's sort of not full multitasking, but at least you can get back to where you want.
Yeah, so tombstoning is actually something that's replacing multitasking now. Honestly, from what I know, is that it completely kills the thread in the system, so the application is completely closed.
Yes.
And if you go back, if the user goes back, you'll be loading that from the isolated storage. What's the state? What was he doing? And all these stuff.
Yeah. So the application has a few stages. One is activated.
Mm-hmm.
One is deactivated. And
Okay.
one is started, and I think terminated, something like that.
So these are event receivers that you
These
basically
are
go.
those events that you can basically program for. So you can see.
Awesome.
So if you hit the back button, right when the application launches, and you hit the back button, then there's no way to come back to the application.
Okay.
It has to start a fresh, you can say, instance of the application. But if you're within the application and then you hit the start button or do something else, then you can save the state.
Okay.
Or, a phone call comes in, or maybe a calendar pop-up comes up, or the screen goes after some period of inactivity, it locks.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have some choices available where you can have your application run under the lock. So there are a few things. Yeah, it's not full multitasking, but still you have a few things. If you use intelligently, you can have a good experience.
Okay.
We talked about multitasking, and that the OS doesn't support multitasking, even though that it does multitask for Internet Explorer, Zune software. That you can play music in the background, play radio in the background, load pages in the background, all these common stuff. What do you think of multitasking on a mobile device? is it really required? Does the user really need it?
If you're coming from Windows Mobile 6.5 and you're used to full multitasking, you will say yes, I need it. But then if you really, go beneath the surface and really see, do you really need it? You may say there are only a few types of applications that need full multitasking. Maybe it's a GPS application. You're driving and it still needs to be in continuous contact with the satellite.
Voice guidance.
Voice guidance, maybe a radio application, music, those kind of things. Other than that, I think users really don't mind that if they get diverted from the app, they come back and they're able to restart where they left off. So I think the amount of applications that need full multitasking is not huge.
Yeah, exactly. And I have seen, seriously, one problem I was facing in Windows Mobile is that whenever I forget a critical application running in the background, it just consumes the memory like this. So,
and your phone becomes sluggish,
Yeah.
hard to control, and then you have to quickly go to Task Manager and kill them.
Kill them
To get
one
the
by
control.
one, or just completely kill
Killing the
them.
process is something that you should
Or then doing a soft reset if nothing else works.
Yeah, exactly. And this was a problem, the soft resetting thing. So I was very happy when I bought the HD2 that, yes, I don't have to do soft resetting. And of course it went to the minimum, but still we had to do soft reset.
So let me ask you, with your new Windows Phone 7, how many times did you have to feel to soft reset it or something? Or
Actually, it soft resets a lot because I forget to recharge it, because it just says, goodbye, I'm out of battery.
Yeah.
So,
But instability wise, I mean,
it's completely stable. And honestly, this thing has been running, except for the forced restarted that I get, not restarts, the forced shutdowns because it's out of battery. I have never opened the back cover and unplugged the battery. Never. And plus it boots really quick.
it boots really quick.
Yeah,
it's
it's really amazing.
seconds,
It boots really quick.
Fantastic. But let's talk about this thing, tombstoning, right?
Yeah.
Is it some kind of a storage mechanism, like you put everything in a cache and then you have a queue of things that will load it? Or when you press the back button, what really happens? Does it load the last application?
Yeah, so the back button is really interesting. So just like a browser web page, you can navigate, and then all the pages you came from are in some stack, like pages. So
Okay.
you keep hitting the back button, it'll keep going back till you hit the last one.
Fine.
So that's one. Tombstoning is basically Microsoft's term for something. It's isolated storage.
Okay.
Where when you tombstone, you would dehydrate an application,
Okay.
take its state, and save it, persist it to the isolated storage.
Okay.
And then when you reload the application, maybe event happened, activated or something, then you check if there's anything in the isolated storage. And then you reload, and maybe you want to bring the application to a particular page, and within that page itself, all the fields maybe have a certain state.
Yeah.
So you have a state for page fields, then you have a state for application pages. So you have two states you can manage.
So is this an XML? You save it in XML or a specific?
I don't know what's the internal representation.
But
it's this API that you call and it stores.
Oh,
Of course, but you can also save to physical files as well.
Honestly, I wish that we can see this automated, that you don't have to really go and really write it. Let the OS handle it. Take a snapshot and put it into memory, into the storage, and that's it whenever you go back.
But it's good to have flexibility too. Maybe some
Definitely,
applications
yes.
don't need
Yes,
tombstoning.
definitely.
If it's gone, it's gone. So I think it's good to have flexibility.
Yeah.
But some
Definitely,
element of automation would be good.
Yeah, of course. It will take out a little bit of headache
So,
from developers.
Just to close this, I opened 10 windows and I came to the first one and then went back. Does all the windows will be closed or still be persisted?
When you say Windows, are you on a browser window?
You know, in simple, I opened one program and clicked home again, then went to some other thing and then back. I will reach the first one. So all the other windows will be closed.
Yeah,
or
they will stay in the stack until you.
If you are on one application and you hit the back button,
Yeah.
that application gets terminated.
That's it. This
Fully
is one.
terminated.
Okay.
Because there's no way for you to go back to it.
Yes.
If you think about it, there's no forward button.
Yes, of course.
There's no forward
This is what I wanted to hear. Yeah. How will it look like having a forward button here? You know?
It will look like a music jukebox or something.
So there's no forward button. So
Yeah.
only those page backs come into play when you're maybe using an application and you hit the start button. Or maybe a pop-up comes up, maybe your app has an option that it activates a camera, takes a picture, then goes back to your application. You know, those kind of things.
Of course. Okay.
Or if you are maybe on a text
Typing,
you're
yeah.
typing, you can hit the back button and it will take away the keyboard, bring you back to the full window. There's one cool thing, I'm not sure if you have seen it. On the keyboard there is no cursor, there is no arrows. So do you know how to precisely position the cursor?
Yeah, definitely. That's one of my best features. I was thinking that I have to do this. I've never tried it before, and well, my friend was there with me, and I think he was the first one to buy the HD7 in Riyadh. So
Followed by me.
yeah, you
I
were
was
the
the
second
second
one.
guy. Yeah.
So I was thinking that how to do this, and he was playing with it, and yeah, it's like this. You have to do it, tap and hold.
So you have to tap and hold, and a cursor thing comes up, and then you can move your finger and position the cursor
Yeah,
anywhere.
it's really nice, really nice feature, nice way of doing it.
So
this is one of the
again,
great ways of implementing this.
We are over time for this time.
Okay, so we have to split the video anyway. Let's continue on the questions.
It's fantastic that once we start, we never want to end. But
Yeah,
again,
really.
well, you know, the target of TekTalk is to make it smaller
Yeah,
and
right.
more better.
You're right.
So, anything else you guys want to share?
I'll just say download if you haven't yet.
Okay.
Start playing with it, and who knows, you might come up with a killer idea. And
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
yes. Marketplace, the strategy is really great. You get to post your application and give money while you're sitting at home, and
Yeah.
all the logistics are done by Microsoft, of course.
Sure.
It's $99 a year for
year,
a developer account. Yes. That's
And
very
if
cheap.
those who are watching, if you're part of the student group, there's a program called Dream Spark. If
Yes.
you're part of the Dream Spark, it's free.
Oh.
So you can waive the $99 fee, and you can be.
Well, you're a student, right?
Yeah, I'm studying at university.
Okay, so you can take Green Spark.
I'm a student. I'm an MVP.
You just want everything, you know?
Still, I don't have a developer account. Unfortunately, I have to get one.
Yes, sure.
I have to get one.
You
whatever
have
it
to
takes.
follow Hassan a lot.
Yeah.
You have followed him a lot. Anyway, thanks guys. I think we are
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate you being here.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, and hopefully we want you to see you again. You didn't tell us the name of your application. If you want to keep it secret, it's up to you.
Yeah, so we'll
So
keep
maybe
it
next time I
secret.
Yeah. This is a marketing strategy.
Yeah,
Okay,
of course.
that he's building something nice. I just heard him. It will be fantastic. You will love it on Windows Phone. But let's keep it secret. Next time, once you finish that,
Yes.
and you're about to launch
Let's
it.
do a show and
yes.
we'll launch it here.
Oh, very fantastic!
Oh,
Yeah, it
that's
should be
great. So
fantastic.
now we're having our first application launch.
Yes,
Yeah,
sure.
that's great.
So whenever you're ready, just give us a call and we'll be there. And people will love it for sure.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
great. Yeah.
So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, and see you in the next episode of TekTalk. Goodbye.